Today's adventure brings me to the Jet Aircraft Museum. Welcome everyone! It's Aaron James here, and thank you for tuning back in to another episode of AJ's Guide to Awesomeness and Beyond. Behind me is Aviation Lane, where the Jet Aircraft Museum is located. And I'm going to that museum spoiler free. I didn't do much of a research except for, of course, the location and stuff like that. But what I would like discover, but what I will discover and learn inside, just like you, if you haven't visited it yet, will just unfold before our own eyes. And yes, I'm wearing some Top Gun aviator shades because it's scorching hot. The sun is shining brightly, and summer is approaching. I think summer. It's officially summer in Canada in about, I think, in next week or next week. Spring is coming to an end. So many cumulus clouds in the background, and I'm excited. So just like you, let's grab our curiosity paddles and let's embark in another ocean of adventure. Heading now towards the museum area. Quite fascinating. Look at that vast land over there. And a while ago I saw some jets flying, taking off from a distance. And there it is, the Jet Aircraft Museum entrance. I'm excited. Okay, I'm now inside the reception area. You can see some amazing displays. So they told me that there will be like a tour. Somebody will tour me around because apparently there's construction and I cannot just wander off. So it's appreciated. They approved that I'm gonna make some videos and take photos, and they like it. Okay. So Scott here will be my tour guide. Hi, Scott.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm excited. I'm coming here spoiler free.
Okay, so the Jet Aircraft Museum started in 2008 when a group realized they could buy old, obsolete aircraft from the Canadian government. They did that, and then once they got started, they realized having 6 of one type of aircraft wasn't any good, so we started to convert those aircraft over to different aircraft through sales and stuff like that. And then what you see up here are aircraft we do not have. There's a number of aircraft that we are trying to acquire. These aircraft, these models are all remote controlled aircraft.
Wow. All of these are remote controlled, not just like ordinary display.
And
Wow, amazing. And it's currently like working. This display, you can pilot them through the remote
you
control.
could,
Okay.
not anymore. They were donated to us, so the controllers and stuff we don't have anymore.
Okay.
But they're all different aircraft that we are trying to acquire.
Nice.
So come on this way.
Perfect.
Along this wall are a number of different photographs the museum has acquired over time of different formation teams that were part of the Canadian military.
Perfect.
And then, of course, there's a picture of the Red Knight when it flew as part of the Canadian demonstration. These are the Canadian, at the time the Canadian Army and the Canadian Air Force were separate.
Separate, okay.
Separate groups.
Okay, sir.
And there was a while where the Canadian government just called them the Armed Forces.
Armed Forces.
But now they're back to being separate groups again.
Separate group. Okay.
What you see here are 2 aircraft. This aircraft was called an Aero. It was built by Canada. And then canceled in the late 1950s. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around that because,
About this particular aircraft.
because the Canadian Prime Minister at the time came on and said we didn't need aircraft anymore. And then less than 2 years later, they bought this aircraft from the American military, which is a Voodoo.
Then just made the paint job. They changed it to Canada.
To
I assume.
Canadian colors, yes. So the interesting thing about this aircraft is this is a picture of the last Voodoo of its type to fly.
When you say voodoo, what do you mean by that?
Most of these military aircraft have a name as well as a number.
Okay.
So this was called a CF-101,
CF-101.
and then the designation was called a Voodoo. But this aircraft is the last one to fly anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
And we have it outside.
Okay, so later, I assume, hopefully I can see it later.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we will
perfect.
go and see it.
How about these artworks? There's where did it come from?
The artwork you see up top.
There are plenty.
Yes, is
Yep.
part of our education
SpongeBob.
program here. We run an extensive grade 6 education program.
The students made this themselves.
Yeah, so part of the grade 6 curriculum in science is flight and the theory of flight and why wings are shaped the way they are and that kind of stuff. So part of what they do with the children that come to the museum is they give a bit of a history on nose art in the Cold War, and then they get to make their own. And you notice the background on a lot of them is the gray,
Yes.
military gray, and that's because we
military
put
gray.
it on one of our aircraft, and they get to get their pictures taken with the nose art on an aircraft. And
Okay,
they're
so
all
we have here the F-18s.
yes, and they're all signed by the pilot of the time.
Wow.
So they all have signatures on them. This one, same thing here.
Are these are actual photographs of the airplane in the sky, right?
Yes.
How do you do that? There's like a photographer.
Well, these are all supplied by the Canadian military, so I'm not really sure
How they captured
Yeah.
that moment.
I
Amazing.
think they get up there with other aircraft.
Okay,
and
like on
somebody
top.
Take a picture. Yes.
Okay, now we are entering the museum entrance. Thank you, Scott. Wow, look at that aircraft.
So yeah, part of what you see over here, this is where we restore aircraft.
Restore.
Because we get them in all kinds of conditions and restore them to flying conditions.
Wow, restore it to flying conditions. How much? How long would that take?
Generally, 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Okay. Definitely not as easy as restoring an automobile, a car.
And part of the issue, this one right here is a Vampire.
Vampire. Okay, that's the designation, I assume. Like
it's
the
called
voodoo.
DH-11,
DH-11.
flown by the Australian government.
Oh, so this came from Australia.
And we're trying to restore it, but it was actually built in 1949.
A classic aircraft.
And to restore it, we need to get, in Canada, to restore an aircraft to flying condition, you need to get original parts.
Original parts. Okay.
And that's part of the issue we have right now, is
Okay.
to try and find some of these parts.
So, okay. So how do you solve that issue of finding parts? Like ordering it or
Well, we put the word out around the world. that
around the
we're
world?
looking
Wow.
for these parts, and we find parts all over.
Okay. So, wow, amazing. So it would take superior
this is-
engineers, mechanics to restore such a
So
thing. Right?
we have a aircraft maintenance engineer that works on this aircraft for us, and then volunteers help.
Okay, we are now outdoors,
Yeah.
and man, gives me like some Top Gun vibes.
Yeah, so this is called the Red Knight.
Holy
that's why
shit.
it's painted red with the knight's head on the front.
Oh,
We have copied the paint job and the logos from the early 1960s. The Canadian government flew one of these as a demonstrator. and we've tried to restore. We've restored the aircraft. It was restored in 2016, 2017.
So it's already in a perfect flying condition.
So it's in flying condition right now.
Nice.
And that's why it's outside. Is we have some people that are coming that want to fly in it. So
Fly in it, as in, okay, there's a pilot and then there's a guest. Okay.
yes, so it's a two-seater,
Mm-hmm.
and the pilot will take the person who pays for passage up. It's expensive.
How much?
It's $3,500.
3,500 for one trip.
Yes, and the trip's about an hour. And
Holy shit.
but in this aircraft, you can do anything you want. If between you and the pilot, if you want to do rolls or loops or anything like that,
Oh.
aerobatic, you can do that.
For 3,500.
Yes, and to understand the cost, is this has a Rolls-Royce Neen 10 jet engine in it, and the jet engine uses about 30 liters of jet fuel a minute,
A minute. Okay.
every minute. So, and jet fuel runs about $2.97 a liter. So basically, we pull it out where the black
That black.
Hawker Hunter is.
And then you fuel it there.
Yeah, so we fuel it up out there.
But I don't see like a gas station or something.
No, a fuel truck will come. and
Fuel
fill-
truck. Okay. Amazing. Okay, so you can ride the aircraft for 3,500 Canadian dollars, and then you can instruct the pilot on what to do, like acrobatics. Amazing.
And if any of your people that are watching
Okay.
want to fly in it, they just need to contact us.
Fly it. Fly in it, not fly it.
Yep, fly in it.
Fly in it, okay? not fly, not operate the
Yes,
the
you fly
aircraft.
with a qualified
Okay,
pilot.
qualified pilot. Okay, let's make that clear
And they just need to contact info,
in advance. Okay.
info at jetaircraftmuseum.ca.
Okay.
And if you go to our website, it will show you put you in that
Yep.
direction as well.
This is an amazing aircraft. I like the colors, the design. As an artist, I appreciate the graphic design of the night.
Yes.
The night head. This is what you told me a while ago, right? The night.
Yes, this is called the Red Knight. Yes. Our pilots are ex-military pilots, and they actually have jobs flying for Air Canada, and they volunteer their time to come and fly the Red Knight for us.
In case somebody will like pay the 3,500, they schedule it in advance, and then you will contact the Canadian pilots, and then they will come on that day.
Yeah. So what we do is we work out when the people are available to go flying.
By the way, flying only for this the red Knight.
yeah.
Oh, no other aircraft.
That's right now. That's correct.
Okay, that's the only one available. Okay.
Yeah, we continue to restore aircraft, and we continue to try and find additional aircraft, and hopefully we can get
Yep.
more aircraft in the air. But it costs a lot of money and a lot of time.
This is the Voodoo.
So we talked about fueling the aircraft.
Yes.
That's how it happens.
Oh, so that's the truck that fuels the aircraft.
Yeah. So they called for the truck. He comes over and fuels the aircraft.
Do they do that every day?
Anytime we want to fly, the truck comes. Yeah.
Okay. So basically this has to be like in a full tank when somebody wants to like fly it. Full
Yes.
tank.
We
Yes.
always fill the aircraft to the maximum just to make sure
Yeah.
there's no issues.
And this one is the Voodoo, correct?
No, the Voodoo
Ah.
is the big one over here.
Holy shit. That one is the one you're trying to restore.
So yeah, we are restoring 3 aircraft at a time.
3 aircraft. Okay.
So this Voodoo needs a new paint job. So it's been sanded, and then we've got to bring in a painter, and he's going to paint it for us. If any of your people do that kind of work, they need to contact us because
Okay.
we need all the help we can get.
Does that like paint also, like if you know how to paint like automobiles, cars, you are qualified to paint an aircraft, something like that?
Yeah, it's just a slightly different kind of paint.
Got
So
it.
this aircraft with the tarp on it is actually the same aircraft as the Red Knight.
Ah, same
But,
model.
what happened is the canopy, there's a chain that moves the canopy up and down
Canopy is the tail. What's the canopy?
where the pilots sit.
Ah, sorry. Canopy is where the pilot sits.
And the chain broke.
Mm-hmm.
And these aircraft were built in the 1950s, so it's trying to match new chain from today with chain from the 1950s.
Okay.
And what we're finding is we don't know whether it was metric chain or standard chain, but we can't seem to find anything that matches it right now.
So the parts is a bit tricky because it has to match the exact model.
Oh yeah,
It cannot be like improvised, like in a car. Hey, this one would match. So this one, okay.
Yeah.
So in
Well,
aircrafts, jets, it's different. It has to be the exact same model.
So this aircraft will never fly. If we can find something, then we'll improvise if we can.
Okay.
But for anything that's gonna fly, we cannot improvise. So the Canadian Air Force has a number of different bases,
Bases, okay.
but they're not near us.
London City. Okay.
The city of London, yes.
It's in Toronto.
There's one east of Toronto called Trenton. There's one at a city called North Bay in northern Ontario.
And I assume it's not open to the public, is it?
No, the base is not open. They do have a museum.
Ah, they also have a
place
museum.
that is open to the public.
And people would also see modern day jets there?
They will most likely see modern day jets.
Ah, okay, that's it.
The museums do have samples of the old type aircraft, but none of them fly.
Ah, okay. Unlike here that it actually flies.
Yeah, our intent is always to try and get aircraft that we can return to flying condition.
Like the motto, persevere, educate, and soar.
Yeah.
How does it goes when it's winter? Like for example, somebody wants to try the jet, it's winter, what do you guys do?
We plow the apron and they go and fly.
Ah, so even if it snows, you can still like avail of the 3,500 service. Okay, so basically, the climate, even if it's a extreme snow winter, it's still operational.
Yes.
The use of the jets for flying. That's nice. The Vampire.
So yeah, this aircraft was totally taken apart and rebuilt.
So it's in a worse condition when it came here.
So yeah, you can see it's been totally sanded down. An interesting thing about this aircraft. Yes, this is a Rolls-Royce Moon 10 jet engine.
Like compatible with this, like in the 1950s, 40s.
No, they had a slightly different engine. This engine is the same as what's in the Red Knight outside.
Ah, okay, Rolls Royce.
The interesting thing about a Vampire is this was built right after the Second World War.
Okay.
The design was British.
British.
And what Britain was missing at the time was access to raw materials like aluminum. So this aircraft from here forward is aircraft aluminum. Where the wings are back is also aircraft aluminum. This piece in the middle is plywood.
Plywood.
It's made out of wood. Yes.
Wow. So what's the advantage of aluminum body covered aircraft?
It's lighter.
Lighter, okay. So you guys are gonna do something about the plywood in the middle or retain it?
It is. That's the reason we got the aircraft. Is the plywood on the aircraft when we received it had succumbed to the elements and had dry rot.
Oh.
So we had to take it all apart and replace all of the plywood
With plywood.
with more plywood,
Okay.
and then shape it to fit the body style.
Nice.
So on this way.
So
Now,
over
these
here are
all
the uniforms
different
of the
styles
pilots.
Of uniforms from early times in the Second World War right through till today.
Okay. You can see like the design. So the uniforms throughout the years, from the World War era to modern day. Amazing. Like the caps as well. Nice. Okay, let's go.
And during the Second World War and through the 1960s and 70s,
Ay, I like motorcycle.
Canada had put their air bases in the north because they thought if they were attacked by the Russian or the USSR, that they would come over the North Pole to attack North America. So Canada put their air bases in the north. And because of that, the one thing the air bases didn't have was good phone service.
Oh.
So that's why we have a motorcycle.
My motorbike, don't touch it.
The motorcycle was actually used as a messenger service.
Oh, messenger.
So someone would type out a letter, hand it to a messenger. He would get on his motorcycle.
It's
and
the
he'd
1956 Triumph.
ride from the north to wherever he had to go.
This is a working motorcycle, is it?
It is a working motorcycle.
Nice.
It's had the fluids removed from it because it was quite busy leaking all over the floor.
Some miniature jets over there. Over here.
So this is a
Oh,
CT-114 Tutor jet built by Canadair in Montreal in the 1960s for the Canadian government.
there's a headlight.
We purchased this one as a complete aircraft. The guy who said it was a complete aircraft may have fibbed or may have just not known any better. But yeah, we're missing a lot of parts, so our plan is to, right now, to restore it to static display, put the wings back on, do the paint job, and have the canopy open so people can climb inside and see what it's like.
What do you call this?
This is the instrument panel out of the Tutor.
Instrument panel.
Right.
What is a tutor? Tutor.
What is the Tutor? That's the Tutor. That's what we call the Tutor.
Tutor.
Yeah.
Every airplane has a name, so Tutor.
Okay.
The Griffin,
Sorry.
the
This is the instruments.
And that's
Right.
what it looks like if it's all together.
Okay. Okay. So this is how it looks like if this aircraft is fully restored. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. It's
So
beautiful.
our hope is to do that, but as I said, we only just started on this 2 months ago,
Okay.
and it'll take us at least 2 years to restore it to flying condition
Perfect.
because everything takes time and money.
Also like some uniforms here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the aircraft behind here, the last one.
This is another T-33 like the one that's outside. The interesting thing about this aircraft is during the 1960s there was a demonstration team called the Golden Hawks,
Golden Hawks.
and they flew F-86 Sabres, which were single-seat aircraft. So to get other people with the Golden Hawk team to the shows, they painted 2 T-33s in Golden Hawk colors, and this is one of them. So our hope is to paint it
Golden
back
Hawk.
to the Golden Hawk gold color.
As in gold. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, gold has gold metal flake in it, so it's one of the most expensive paints on the market.
It's only money. They printed every day.
It's only money. Yeah. Okay, you want to talk about this one?
Yep.
So this is the fuselage of a MiG-29, and the actual aircraft was flown by the Malaysian government.
Malaysian.
Yeah.
Malaysia, okay.
And it ended up in Bagotville, Quebec. I don't know. We don't know what happened to the rest of the aircraft. But here in London in 1992, when Ukraine had just become its own country, Ukraine sent 2 MiG-29s to Canada to fly in air shows.
It is, but it's.
And over here are pictures of what they look like in 1992 And the little picture up here is actually a picture of the two aircraft at London Airport in 1992.
Okay.
So we decided when we got the aircraft, we would paint it to meet Ukrainian colors because the only MiG-29 that had been to London, Ontario had this paint job on it.
Second drawer on the right.
Nice.
So that's why it looks the way it does.
What
So
is that jet?
This is the cockpit fuselage of a T-33 aircraft.
T-33. Okay.
So if you were going to fly in the Red Knight, you could actually sit in this one to see what it felt like.
Okay.
So when you climb up, you're going to the front seat.
Quite
Yeah,
hard.
right under the seat is good.
Okay.
So this is what the aircraft would have looked like in the 1960s for Canadian pilots.
Wow. I remember like people in the movies.
Yes. So the one thing your people that are watching this will notice is how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet. I'm 6 flat.
Yeah. So you see how he doesn't have a whole lot of room once the canopy comes down.
So am I like gonna do this?
Yes, because, and here's the interesting fact, is that these aircraft were designed at the end of the Second World War for pilots from the Second World War. So it was designed for a pilot that averaged 5'8"
5 feet.
and weighed about 160 pounds. So you'd be right at the extreme limit at 6 foot.
Okay.
And I'm over the limit because the maximum we can put in there is somebody who weighs about 250 pounds, and I'm over that.
Okay. So this is the inside of the cockpit. Oh, amazing. So many controls and so many what they call this, the meters, right? They call those meters.
There's
Dials.
an altimeter which tells you how high you're
I mean, what do you call this again?
instrument panel.
Instruments, sorry. Instruments. So many instruments. You have to monitor a lot of things when you're piloting.
So there are all of those that are telling you what the aircraft is doing. Speed is all controlled by the panel over there.
Okay.
And this side is the anything about communication. So the radio would go there, and all the switches and stuff for talking.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Modern aircrafts, are they like the same in terms of like the controls and everything? Modern day?
No, they've
Easier.
gone to more computer screens.
Computer
that look
screens.
Like, they've installed an iPad in the instrument panel.
Okay. Instrument panel.
So yeah.
So it's easier in the modern aircrafts to operate compared
Modern
to
aircraft is very computerized
with the computerized.
and has a lot of iPad style
Okay.
screens.
Okay, so now Bill will replace Scott because Scott has an important meeting. So Scott, by the way, is the president of the museum. So Bill here will finish the tour. Whatever parts I would need to feature.
So you've finished here?
Yeah, finish this.
Okay. And you've done all this?
Yeah, we are done.
Outside?
Yep.
Done?
Outside, yes. I heard some jet.
Oh, likely, yeah, because the test pilot school is next door.
Okay. Test pilot school.
You going back over the simulators? Yep. Okay, we'll be over there shortly.
May I ask what are the simulators?
Oh, we have simulators over there that you can look at.
Later. Okay.
Yeah, well, when we get over there. So this is the International Test Pilot School.
International over there.
There's the building right here.
The X, the one with the X.
Yeah, X, yeah. And
Okay.
This is one of their planes.
The
This
black
is a,
one.
Yeah, this is a Hawker Hunter.
Okay. So the one pilot. So it's being fueled right
Yeah,
now.
side by side. There's another Hawker Hunter here, the silver one.
Oh, silver one.
Yeah, that belongs to us.
Okay. So this one is from the school.
This one's from the school. This is very special. Same kind of airplane, but they've got the avionics upgraded in it. So it's all glass cockpits.
All glass.
You know the F-35? The F-35 that has the helmet that lets you look through the aircraft because
Okay.
there's cameras on the outside.
Yeah.
And it shows up on the screen, so you can look down between your legs and you see down there. It's on the screen. This is set up with the same avionics. So the International Test Pilot School, with that airplane, will be able to train F-35 pilots from the U.S. Air Force, Canadian Air Force, Royal Air Force, any of the countries that own that operate the F-35. So they're looking forward to. They're just getting all the bugs worked out of it, and I believe when they get going on it, they're going to base it out of North Bay.
North Bay.
Lots of trees, open spaces, nobody to bug. So you've seen all this?
Yep, we see all this. So
Go into them and $20 for half an hour.
perhaps next time.
Next
Didn't
time,
have big. So these are simulators. You can like
They're advanced simulators.
you can
Not
fly
quite
a
as
jet.
advanced as this one. This one's for actual pilots.
Oh.
These started back here.
These are the one for actual pilots.
Yep.
This one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
This one is just for the public.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a very much of an entry level. Anybody can use this one.
So this one is gonna move as I I'm in the sky, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It really begins with this.
Okay.
This is the Link Hangar 1.
What do you call that? D.
Used back in World War II.
Okay.
This used to train pilots from DC-4 pilots, DC-3 pilots. You can imagine over 100,000 paratroopers paratrooping into occupied Europe at the time when Germany invaded Europe. They trained C-47 Skymasters and C-47 Dakota pilots to fly overnight. They would get a specific instructions through a headset, and they would listen to that instruction. So either way, when they're inside flying in the cockpit, whatever their instructions is that they were instructed to do. This shows the pitch, yaw, and roll of the simulator. Of course, none of the controls are activated except for the L1 elevator, which barely works anymore.
Well, the rotors would have to be used in the pedals, right?
So this is our advanced simulator. This uses X-Plane, X-Plane 11 or 12, I believe. 12, yeah. And so this, we don't really charge people anything just yet because we're still setting it up. So you could actually get your PPL in this thing. So this
PPL is.
your private pilot's license. So other than that, ITPS pilots could come in and get their ratings for whatever aircraft they're practicing for. So like the L-39 Albatross is outside, and they could go through every single simulation. Again, they would program a computer. The computer would go here, or they would hold something or whatever they want to do, and they would make a specific scenario inside the cockpit with the door closed. The pilot would have to react to those scenarios in every
Like
shape and form.
what kind of scenarios?
So let's say a dead stick landing. You lose
Dead stick.
Dead stick.
What does that mean?
Dead stick is a landing where you
Landing.
where you lose your engine completely and you only have to glide it down to the ground. So, for instance, you're in a thunderstorm. They could also program a thunderstorm into
Thunderstorm.
a scenario. A fire. They could program a fire. They could program a water landing. They could program just about anything. Other than that, that's really different about the advanced simulators. Is the graphics on this simulator are far more advanced. This uses Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which you can probably download on your Xbox at home.
Okay.
Other than that, we can choose a various amount of aircraft to fly and choose from. But because our mock-up, actually this simulator right here, this was donated by ITPS. This one,
What's ITPS?
Let's go to the test pilot school.
Oh, the text.
yeah, the International Test Pilot School. This one we built ourselves.
Wow.
So this is basically a mock-up of the F-16 Fighting Falcon or F-16 Viper. The difference between the Fighting Falcon and the Viper is because the United States Air Force Thunderbird team uses the F-16 Fighting Falcon in their aero demonstration team. Of course, the F-16 Vipers, because I don't think because the Vipers, I'm not really sure why they call them that.
It's just a nickname, is it?
But I think they're more of an attack form aircraft when it comes to the F-16 Viper, but the F-16 Fighting Falcon is more of an Air Force aircraft.
So Marco here will do like a flight demonstration for video purposes. Nice.
So this uses, like I said, this uses Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Microsoft.
So this, I'm allowed to take off from London, Toronto, Sarnia, Windsor. So what's interesting is you'll see the afterburner come on, and we'll do just a straight out takeoff, and I'll try to get you as close to the museum as possible because you can actually see the museum in this game. So that's the afterburner. My brakes are off, flaps are down, and I am rolling out. So I just used a little bit of rudder input to correct the way that it's traveling, just that way it goes in a straight line. V1, V2, VR, rotate. So because the afterburner takes up so much fuel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pass of downtown London. So here.
Can you go to Masonville? Just kidding.
Masonville? Yeah, I can actually fly over Masonville.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll fly to downtown. We'll go right over Wellington and go straight north. So this would be, I would say this is Dundas right here. And we're gonna fly right between two towers. Now we'll head over to Masonville. So there's Masonville Mall.
Nice. Oh yeah.
And we'll start flying towards the airport. I'm going to reduce the minimum speed, and I'm going to give you a very special presentation. We'll reduce speed a little bit more just to compensate. Just going to level my wings here. And we're going to fly right past the Jet Museum. And we sidestep that. And there. So now I am gonna land the airplane now. And we're just gonna fly about a mile or so out. We're gonna drop the gear. Flaps are extended. I'm slowly gonna come around, get in position for landing, runway 33. Sorry, runway 15. So the reason why the number of runways are like that is due to the angle of it. So 15 and 33 are London's main runways. So we're just gonna do a slight knife edge, and there's the runway off to our left, and we're gonna get lined up for it. And I'm going to try to see if I can hold short, so that way we can taxi into the Jet Museum, and you'll be able to see the voodoo as we come in. I'm just going to slowly add a little bit of rudder. Our speed brake's coming on. Oh, not my best landing, but
For me, it's amazing.
so we're just going to slowly roll out here. When he's here, I usually like to do something special for the guests.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to taxi in.
Taxi.
Brakes release. So we're just going to taxi over to the museum, and that's where we're going to end the video. Just add a little bit of speed here, not too much. Of course, no harm done because it is a game, so nothing's real. But everything you see here is exactly London Airport.
So how does, like, if you hit something there, does it like?
Nope, it's not affected at all.
I mean, but it will show on the screen, like
Yeah.
if you hit a building or something.
So just outside our hangar doors, you'll be able to see our Voodoo and the ITPS school, and right there is the Jet Museum. Of course, we don't have the Red Knight here on here yet, but you are able to see the Voodoo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the engine and I'm going to use my rudder pedals to steer on the ground. I'm just going to slowly turn the nose to the right. Add little brakes.
So it's a game that I can download myself on Xbox.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And we're going to stop right here.
Okay.
And that is the flight demonstration. Flaps coming up.
So thank you, Marco, for the wonderful demonstration. So again, you can download this. What is this simulation called? The one that you can download?
So for
I'm not gonna download though. I don't have an Xbox.
I'll have to ask Jim. So
Okay.
if you follow me on your way out to the gift shop,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna shut this off. Or for
So basically, the simulator that we witnessed a while ago, or like the Top Gun. What's this Top Gun experience?
Yeah.
Is that the simulator?
Yep. So that's our Top Gun experience.
Okay.
Flight time 14 and older. Our price is $20 for 1.5 hours. Just ask for pricing.
High performance simulator, 35-minute flight. Pilot must be 14 years old, minimum $20. And you can schedule it. It's not like walk-in.
Yep. You can schedule it. And,
Okay.
and we're here Thursday,
There's
Friday.
also some
Oh yeah, and
aircrafts.
those are some of the MiGs that you've seen, like the MiG that you see, the MiG-29 that we have here.
Amazing.
That's the MiG. I don't remember what MiG that is. I believe it's a MiG-29 or something. So these are the Russian bombers that you see on world news half the time. So if you follow me, merchandise here.
Okay, so now the gift shop.
So our best sellers to date are these mini wooden airplane kits that you can put together yourself. We sell them for about $25.95. So these are actually made from metal, made from our aircraft. And we actually sold one of these. These are our 100th anniversary Royal Canadian Air Force hockey pucks. And we have keychains as well. So our prices are obviously tagged right here. We actually had someone come in a few days ago, a few weeks ago, buy one of our Avro Aero patches. We have brand new shirts over here. These are all brand new shirts. We have shirts on the past Snowbird team. We have a Vampire, a Snowbird, a Golden Hawk. We have shirts on our Voodoo. So these are our Voodoo shirts. We have anywhere from sizes small, medium, large. We also have, we have Golden Hawk shirts as well. These are brand new as well, including our CF-104 Starfighter shirts that are also brand new. And we also have a few Vampire shirts. Those are also brand new as well. So anywhere from small, medium, large, extra large.
So these are photos of the past air shows here in London.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Not all of them are from London, but most of them are.
The
Most
one
of
that you see there is from the 150th anniversary of Canada. So that's why our Red Knight has the maple leaf underneath it.
Oh, painted this special. It was painted for that special event.
Yeah, the F-18 changes every single year. Canada's demonstration F-18 jet. So this was for the 150th anniversary livery, and this was also in dedication of the Royal Canadian Air Force memorial.
And this is from 2018.
That's our
2017.
What are these, like, three jets?
Snowbirds.
those are our CT-114 Tutor jets.
Three different,
Snowbirds.
like they position themselves. Okay, but these are three different aircrafts.
Yep, they're 3 different aircraft.
So it's really like timing and everything for the pilots. Wow. And that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Very informative, very educational museum. The tour, people there are very friendly. Special thanks to Scott, the president, Bill, Marco for everything. I really learned a lot, and I'll probably visit this again in the near future and bring a friend that I can explore it again and see the Red Knight, the Voodoo, and everything. Hopefully in a much more better condition than how it is today, restoration wise. And if you like this particular episode, please give it a big thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. From the Jet Aircraft Museum, I'll see you again in the next episode, another time, another place.